Yo, what's good? It's your boy Mike Teezy, and you're tapped into Gospel Music Buzz. Keep it locked.
All right, and we are back with another episode of The Buzz. I'm your host, Sherwin, with Gospel Music Buzz, y'all. And today we are here with West Virginia native Christian rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, most importantly, child of the King, Mike Teezy. What's happening, Mike?
Yeah, what's good? What's good? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. The real question is, man, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm highly favored. Shout out to the single. But yeah, man. Overall, man, I'm good, man. I can't complain.
I like it. I like it because definitely just seeing that little clip. Seeing that little clip. If they ask me how I'm
Yeah,
feeling, you know what I mean?
yeah, most definitely.
Oh
Yeah,
man. So
man.
listen, man, you've just been dropping so many different singles this year, man.
Sir. Yeah,
2024. We got Outcome,
yeah,
Code of Conduct, Blood on the
yeah,
Doors, Hands on
yeah,
Me featuring Jacqueline. We got to get into that as well too.
yeah, for sure.
There for you, highly favored. You've
Yeah,
sort of just, start off the year and just kept it going. So
yeah.
tell me, man, how's this
Sir.
motivation going right now this year?
Man, so what's crazy is like I dropped the album last year, the Greenhouse Project.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like most artists, like when you drop an album, you kind of just chill for a minute.
Yeah, let it
And I
breathe.
guess I'm a
Yeah.
little different because I've been in the lab immediately. Like I was trying to say, like, yo, is this it for me? Like, what else do I got? And so that was kind of like a time of me like just trying to press in and push in and see what I can create.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that season, of course, we got songs like Code of Conduct, we got Hands on Me, and so many other songs. But I have like an album that's already done that I may be
Mm.
dropping this year. You know what I'm saying? So God is good, man. He's really been, blessing me and giving me a bunch of different ideas and concepts and songs to kind of just hit on this year. So
Yeah,
yeah, man,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to releasing the rest of this music. But yeah, I think right now he has me doing like every 2 weeks. So I told him, I was like,
Mm.
God, I'm gonna do this until you say, chill and
Wow.
get ready for the album. So I'm gonna keep doing it, keep dropping stuff. And yeah, and these ain't no like throwaway songs either. Like these is like
Nah, these.
songs, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man,
That's
it's
what I'm
crazy.
saying. With
So
with all of these are like their own EP all by itself,
facts.
man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
you just
Crazy.
string that together. That's already something right there. And you mentioned
Crazy.
the greenhouse project. You dropped
Yeah,
that in 2023. I know that's
yeah,
also for consideration on the first
yeah,
round
for
ballot at
sure.
Stellar Awards. So
Yes, yes.
congratulations, salute.
Appreciate
By the
that.
time this interview is released, the single is going to be out and, round two is going to be out. So we're going to be looking to ensure that you're on round two of those ballots as well,
Yes.
too.
Yes,
So
I'm
we can
praying,
keep,
praying.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, man.
So there's that's happening again. That even the
Yeah,
Greenhouse Project, going back to that, as an
yeah,
independent project that released top 12, that was on
yeah.
yeah, it was top 12 in iTunes. And
Mm-hmm.
you took that on tour. So even as an independent
Facts.
artist going out, taking that on tour, and you're linking up with
Yeah,
the McDonald's,
crazy.
Gospel Fest and all of that, like just talk about that
Crazy.
mindset. Because I
Yeah,
think when
man.
someone think independent, they're thinking, hey, it has to be small, it has to be this, it has to be
Exactly.
that. But I think,
Yeah,
you sort of like I guess I would say restructure when you're thinking
yeah.
independent, what independent should look
Facts.
like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for me, what was crazy is like for the past, I'll say 3 years, like before I dropped the album, and during like COVID and all that stuff, I was just dropping singles back to back, dropping singles, dropping singles. I would drop
Hmm.
EPs here and there, but like it was 2022 when I just started creating, and the stuff that I was creating was like sounding too rich to just be a single. Like it was just something about it that I couldn't just let it go, you know? And I kept
Mm,
hearing in my spirit, album, album, album. I'm like, God, albums don't do well, you know what I'm saying, in this season because people got short attention spans.
yeah,
Like you gotta
yeah.
go up against algorithms now, you gotta go up against labels and other bigger name artists, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I was like, God, like if I do this album, you know what I'm saying, I don't think it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
obey. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I just obeyed God. And I did the album, I dropped the album, then he said tour. I was like, Now, God, you already said album. You know what I'm saying? That was already a tough
That
moment
bag is
there.
tapped already. Yeah,
And
yeah.
exactly. Now you want me to do the tour? So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just stepped out on
Hmm.
faith. I took the leap of faith, and it was mind blowing. Like I didn't expect
Wow.
nobody to show up at any of the stops, and we had a few of the stops that had like maybe I think it was like three or four of the stops that had over 150 people.
Wow.
So I said, praise God. You know what I'm saying? To do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
independently, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's big to me. And then to be on the McDonald's Inspiration Celebration Gospel Tour,
Yeah.
that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I took the leap of faith of doing the album, then doing my
Hmm.
own tour, but then to be on an international tour that's been going around like what was that, 17 years? They've
Yeah,
been doing it
yeah.
for 17 years, and I was
Hmm.
part of the 17th one.
Yeah, yeah. That was
So
dope.
that was crazy because I was on stage with a lot of my favorite artists, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like there was a moment that I didn't think would ever happen. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But to be able to do that, and the other artists that like I was fans of was actually rocking with me. Tapping in with my music, starting to
Yeah,
share my
yeah.
stuff. I'm like, yo, this is dope. So it's just no telling what God is gonna do next. Like for real.
And and I think you're sort of spot on with sort of spot on with that too, because
Yeah.
with this. Yeah, you're sort of spot on with that, as well, right?
Yes.
Because I think if you sort of look back, right, you're thinking, hey, coming from West Virginia, I know you
Nice.
moved to their
North Carolina. Yeah.
Carolinas. So you're
Yeah.
trying to transition there. And even, usually a lot of times you pull stylings from, from either, where you've grown up or,
Facts.
states
Yeah.
that you sort of lived in and traveling. So I
Mhm.
want to touch a little bit on that just to see
For
how
sure.
just those two location, sort of influence your
Yeah.
style a little bit. But
For
you've
sure.
also kind of, transition in other ways, right? Because,
For sure.
from dancer, to
Yeah.
drummer, and
Facts.
you've been, fans of some
Yeah.
of the great, looking at
Yeah.
them, for hours and all that. So it's sort of like just
Yeah.
give us a little bit of a summary for someone that might have seen, the Mike Teezy now 10 years down
Yeah.
the line, but sort of
Yeah.
like take us back a little bit. And even to that moment in college
Yeah.
where, that was like the turning point when you
Yeah.
rededicated your life to God. Like, so sort of like
Yeah.
take us back a little bit there before we leap
Okay,
forward.
yeah, yeah. So, growing up in West Virginia, everybody knows, Mountain Mama, West Virginia, take me home, like that country kind of sound. But my roots was definitely rooted in gospel music. Grew up listening to gospel music. My parents, they sing, my sister sings, like my whole family was musically inclined. And like for me, it was like I didn't know what my gift was at that time. So like it was literally only dancing and
Mm,
playing the drums. I started playing the drums when I was like 4 or 5
yeah.
and dancing when I was like 4, so around that same time. But yeah, I would be watching, Michael Jackson, James Brown, different people like that, and just studying how they would move. And I was like
Yeah.
implementing those moves, beatboxing, like that was my thing. I thought that this was my lane, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
dancing and
Yeah.
being in the background type deal. Like that's the kind of, lane that I wanted to be in. Like I didn't want to be in the spotlight at all. But as time went on, like we moved to North Carolina in 2000. So I've been out here pretty much majority of my life. Um, but the sound of the Carolinas definitely rang, North Carolina, come on and raise up, like all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
More of like the grittiness, the grimy like sound. Um, so I guess I'm just like a melting pot of like things that I, kind of
Mm.
heard growing up. And then as I grew in my music, just the taste that I had for music has grown too. Because I played in the marching band, the jazz band,
Oh,
the
really?
concert band. I
Okay.
played in all those bands during school, you know what I'm saying, coming up. So I was exposed to a lot of different sounds of music. So I always had a
Mm-hmm.
love for it, even though I played the drums and percussion, I had a love for all of it meshing together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so I feel like now I'm in a place in a space where I can create and I can hear all those things working together. You know what I'm saying? And so
Love
I think
that.
it's a beautiful, what I'm saying, a beautiful moment and in a time where I'm just like sitting in the lab in my studio and just creating. And when I hear everything coming together the way it's supposed to, like in the process, it might be a mess. But at the end result, what I'm saying, it's gonna come out the way God wants it. So that's dope. But going back to college, I was still dancing. I had a dance crew. We used to travel and
Oh, word.
Jared Crump, Sauce. I was doing it all, man. I was really doing it all. And I had got a phone call to one of my friends from high school was
Mm-hmm.
shot and killed.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that was like an eye opener for me. That was like a rude awakening moment where I was like, yo, tomorrow really is not promised. Like We were the same age. We were both the co-captains of the basketball team,
Mm,
and to get that call, I was just like, dang, like this is crazy. And this is the guy that gave me the name Mike Teezy.
wow.
Like he
Oh
was like, yo, you
wow.
dance
Okay.
like Chris Breezy, I'm gonna start calling you Mike Teezy. So it just stuck from there. So everybody started calling me Mike Teezy, calling me like in high school. So I get to college, people still calling me Mike Teezy, Mike Teezy. I was like, okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying? So when I got that call, I just kind of kept the name and
Mm,
as just like honor to him in a sense, because
yeah.
he the one that gave me the name. So yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, and
Yeah,
you sort of again you and I'm glad that you're taking a sec to sort of go back there, and to sort of
yeah,
pivot back forward. But once you made that rededication, you went
yeah,
out, you got the laptop, you got the equipment, and you sort of
yeah.
just started small, started what you're doing,
Facts.
Now
Yeah,
looking back at this now, 10 years in, I know you were just
yeah,
featured, along with a lot of your peers on the Elevate Inspo cover,
yeah, yeah.
Trailblazers of the Revolutionized Christian Hip
Hmm.
Hop and R&B. And when I first saw that cover roll by, I was like, is that a new album? Because that would be crazy. You got
That would
One
be
Day, you got Steve Jordan,
yeah,
Childlike You. I was like, is what's going on? But that was
crazy.
just like a really, really great, just cover, great
Yeah,
piece that, when they went into that. So kind of like
yeah,
being on the cover, something like that, years down, looking at it amongst your peers, amongst this
yeah,
generation that's really pushing Christian rap, in their own creative way going
yeah,
forward. Like, what was that moment like? Just sort of looking at that finished product and seeing everyone there
yeah.
surrounded by your peers. Like, what was that moment like?
It felt monumental. Like, just seeing all of us come together is
Yes.
already something that's not seen in our space a
Mm-hmm.
lot, which is crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got people in the world in secular music where they come together, they doing
Mm-hmm.
collab projects, they're doing tours together, you know what I'm saying? But in the space of Christian hip hop and Christian R&B, it's not a lot of, collaboration. There's not a lot
Mm-hmm.
of, yo, you come on tour with me, you come do this with me. And it's like everybody's kind of clicked up. But for us to all come together and stand and like, yo, this is what Christian hip hop look like. This is what Christian R&B looks like,
Yeah.
and actually like represent it well. That's a beautiful thing, man. So it was definitely monumental. It was dope to see like all of us, come together and telling our own stories and
Mm-hmm.
how we're still like elevating, how we're still pushing the gospel, and how we're still like, pushing the genre. You know what I'm saying, in itself too. So yeah, it was super dope, man, for real.
Yeah, and I feel the same way too, because I think when I saw that, I was like, that's definitely gonna set sort of what the pace of, from
Yeah,
collaboration, just from coming together
exactly.
and just, what that possibility could be
Yeah.
endless. But and another thing too that I sort of love about your when I got put onto your music, I started listening to it, starting to, because I'm always because again, I got teenage kids. A lot of times, they're listening to some madness. And I'm like, no, I don't even know what you listen to. Check out this.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
anytime you say gospel, they're gonna think, oh, I don't want to listen to no old school this and old school
Right.
that. So I gotta be
Exactly.
like, no, no, just relax a minute. Let me
Right.
send you some stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Check
Yeah.
check this out. So it's always great to see, when
Oh,
there's creatives that's out there that's creating, and then their music is able to influence, beyond the
exactly.
borders of the church, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Beyond the borders. I know I've seen like
Yeah.
some you have a clip on your page from the
Yeah.
podcast when they were like,
Yeah.
yo, that joint is
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Be
But even
Simone.
with the
Yeah.
exactly it means about,
Yeah.
but even with the feature on the Grammy when they did, on the Grammy
Yeah.
site when they did, what is
Crazy.
trap gospel and all that. So
Yeah.
that tells me that it's beyond just, our gospel and
Exactly.
Christian circle, but to see that
Facts.
influence, to reach out and to be able to sort of just tap into others that are out there,
Yeah.
as a creator, as person of God, influential, carrying
Yeah.
that, like what does that moment as well too, knowing that it's getting that impact, especially to the ones
Yeah.
I would say who really needs it.
Facts. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to me because like I literally sit in my studio and create these songs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's going to hear it. I don't know who's going to be
Yeah.
listening in, who's tapping in. And when I release it, like I'll feel something in my spirit. Like I know this is one that's going to reach a lot of people, or I know
Mm-hmm.
that this is going to bless a lot of people. But I still have to release it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm just taking that leap of faith and just throwing it out there, not really knowing the return, not knowing what's going to come from it, I know I'm just sowing seeds. So no pun intended with harvest land and everything. But that's literally like
Mm-hmm.
my brand. I live on that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like every song is a seed that's sown. And in every song, there's a word there, there's a message there, and there's multiple seeds within the seed that I'm sowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's crazy to start seeing like some of the return. You know what I'm saying? So seeing like different people like D Simone, seeing different people like Megan
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, different NBA players, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like movies, actors, actresses, you know what I'm saying? All of those people are tapping in with the music now. But for the Grammys, which is like the biggest
Mm-hmm.
music organization, you know what I'm saying, if you will, to be noticing and recognizing Christian hip hop or Christian R&B, gospel trap, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it,
Yeah.
that's super dope because we're really infiltrating right now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We're infiltrating the structure of secular music, what they've been pushing in our lives for years. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man, it was definitely dope to be a part of that too.
Yeah, and I'm definitely with you with that. And then, you mentioned just from, just the collaborative efforts, when you
Yeah,
did that song with Jacqueline, Hands on Me,
yeah, hands on me.
songs dope, visuals, everything was that. So when
Yeah,
you were writing, kind of get us
yeah.
in that mind space. When you were writing, do you typically say, "Hey, I think this will go good with like a Jacqueline car," like when you're in the writing process, or how does that
So
something like that even become possible?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah. So with that song, originally I was writing that hook. So I literally just wrote the hook for another artist. So I was
mm-hmm,
writing it for KB, and KB
mm-hmm,
didn't use it for his album. So literally like lay your hands on me. I wrote all of that just for his album. Like, I was like, yo, I think this would be fire for him. Da, 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 da. They didn't use it. I hit up, Wes, which is his like producer and stuff. I was like, yo, are y'all using this joint? If not, you know what I'm saying? Let me try to get that joint back. Let me get the beat. Let me just, and so I ended up getting it reproduced or whatever from my friend Guy Frame. So he reproduced the song. I started writing it, rewriting like the verse and everything,
mm-hmm,
adding different things to like the hook, making it, bigger, brighter. And so it was crazy. Like after I started this whole process, me and Jacqueline was already talking, and she
mm-hmm.
started tapping on my music like late 2022.
Yeah,
And when I was getting ready to release the Greenhouse Project, I was releasing like different singles building up to
yeah,
that
yeah.
point. So I had released Reminisce and music video and all of that stuff. So she started sharing my music. I was like, yo, she really
What's
tapping in
up?
with the project. She's tapping in with the
Yeah.
music. I was like, it'd be dope if I had her on the deluxe of the Greenhouse Project. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was planning on trying to release a deluxe like maybe later on in the year. And so I reached out to her. She's like, yo, I would love to. I'm gonna give your information to my dad. We're gonna talk it over. Da, 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 da. So her dad reaches out to me and says, Jacqueline wants you on her album. I said, well, that's crazy because I was trying to have her on mine. So it was pretty much like a dope
Yeah,
situation where
yeah.
we both were fans of each other and it just worked. You know what I'm saying? It literally just worked. So they flew me down to Atlanta. I did my verse for a celebration, which is featuring, Pastor Mike Jr., Kirk Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
and myself along with her.
Which is even crazy by
So
itself, but go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, man, like this is insane that she thinks that much of me to have me on a song like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I turned around, sent the song, Hands on Me to her, and I wrote her verse in like 10, 15 minutes. She knocked it out like that. I said, dang, that
Wow.
was tough. So everything just came together perfectly, man. So I reached out, told him I wanted to shoot the video. We shot the video. It turned out to be a movie. Like, shout out to director Will Thomas. Like, he definitely did
Mm.
his thing.
Where
I
was it
told him my
filmed
heart
at?
behind it.
Where was
Yeah.
it? Where was it filmed at?
We shot it in Atlanta,
Atlanta.
Georgia.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I told him my heart behind it, but I didn't even have to tell him much. Like he listened to the song and he was blessed by the song enough to where he
Wow.
heard everything, had the storyline, everything came together, and he did his thing, man. So yeah, shout out to him again. Like he definitely went crazy on
Salute,
that.
man. Yeah, I love to see
Yeah,
that kind of stuff, man. As I was looking at the graphics, rollout, all that stuff. We were pushing
yeah,
some stuff on our end as well,
yeah,
and we were sending through, and I was like, listen, man, this is sick. This is sick. And then
yeah,
right after that, again, started coming back to the path that you've been on this year, because
yeah,
right after that you would think, hey, this is a big record in it of itself. He's gonna let
yeah,
this sit for a little while and you turn around, you're like, first name highly, last name favor.
But
I was
yeah,
like, yo, this dude is
yeah,
not, it's
yeah,
not slowing down, man. But
no,
I love the energy,
yeah,
just the grind, the grit, just keep, you know, pushing all day because I'm sure someone that's
yeah,
operating at your level, I think it might have been an outcome. One of the
yeah,
tracks you mentioned, that you've had, just like offers on the table, but you didn't
yeah,
really pick it up, some to that
yeah,
extent. So I'm sure,
yeah,
opportunities will come, but sort of like, staying true to what you're doing and continuing
yeah,
to push at this particular level. Do you feel like at some point you may, hey, let me see what else is happening over there on like a label end, but you're like, yo, I'm good in the lane that I'm at, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. Like, what are you
yeah, yeah.
thinking? Where you at?
So that's a great point. So as I touched on in the outcome, yeah, there was
Hmm.
like quite a few different labels that have reached out and it was like, yo, we want to sign you, want to do this, want to do that. But I would pray to God, you know what I'm saying? I was like, God, like if this is not what you want me to do, don't allow it.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was working so hard for so many years. I was like, yo, this is what I need to get to the next
yeah,
level. This is what I need to get over here.
yeah,
This is what I need
yeah.
to get over there. And I still had to put it in God's hands, like, God, like, I know this is what I feel like I need, but if you don't think I need it, you know what I'm saying? Show up in a mighty way. Like show me that
Mm,
I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Move to where I don't need it at all. Because I'd hate to kind of dim the light, you know what I'm saying, to
yeah,
fit in
yeah,
or dim whatever, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
How
I'm with
God is
you.
exposing, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's so many different people and different labels that'll try to control you, can try to control what you
Hmm.
say,
Hmm.
control how you present the package, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
And I recently just signed I can say this now because I just signed a distribution deal. And
Okay.
it's
Okay.
more of like a partnership, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Those
shout
are
out to the
yeah.
Orchard.
Yeah.
I just signed a partnership deal with them as
Dope.
far as
Dope.
like
Yeah.
distribution. So
Hmm.
they're really going to help me, push even more
Which is
and get the
great.
message
Yeah.
and the music out there. And they're not controlling me. I still own everything.
Which
Like
is
it's a
dope. Yeah.
beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of people, that are either in my position or even higher positions, a little lower, like have signed different things and never got what I'm getting right now. You know what I'm saying? People
Hmm.
that have signed with labels that we know in the
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have like terrible, situations. But I thank
Hmm.
God that this is like
Amen.
it's kind of like a secular platform
Yeah.
that do like gospel things. So they have like Jacqueline, they have Maverick City, they
Hmm.
have Samala Man. There's so many other people that they
Yeah.
represent
Yeah. Yeah.
and
They're
help push.
solid. Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, to be on this same roster with these people that I've enjoyed over the years, been fans of over the years, like it's crazy just to be in the same conversations, these same people. So yeah,
I'm
yeah, it's
with you.
dope,
Yeah,
man.
and it looks like a great team too because I saw
Yeah,
Jacqueline performed out at the Orchard office in New York, so I was present for
yeah,
that and just seeing their
dope.
space, the team, all that out there. It looks like a pretty
Yeah,
good situation. And I know we're
sure.
coming up on time, but I want to just say like is inspirational hearing when you're speaking that there's definitely a God factor, and I'm saying
Yeah,
this intentionally, right? Because a lot of times there's doing music and there's
right.
also being a believer, right? There's folks that can come
Facts.
into CHH, come into Christian rap, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it, and they're going to do it as a genre. But it's clear
exactly.
that you are a believer because you're talking about the
Facts.
steps of the righteous being ordered. And you're saying,
Yeah,
hey, even when this come, I put it before God. When this come, I
exactly.
pray about it. And I think
Exactly.
while
Yeah.
it may sound like subtle, like those are things that always
Yeah.
catch on. So I
Facts.
definitely want to
Yeah.
say, just for others that are listening, you definitely want to do this and you want to do this with everything and you want to keep presenting it to God, even if you think it looks
Yeah.
so great, you still want to present it to Him. So definitely,
Exactly.
thank you for just highlighting that without
Nah,
even
definitely.
highlighting it, but highlighting that. So
Yeah.
definitely,
I
salute to you for
appreciate that.
that. But listen,
Thank
man,
you.
the new single coming out, I feel good. You already
Yes.
got the visuals that's out there.
Yeah.
I basically just had that just on a loop on IG over
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
over.
yeah.
It's
I
like, yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man.
that's dropping this Friday.
It's
What do you
Friday.
want to tell the people about this before you go? What do you want to
Yeah,
tell them
yeah.
about the new single that's coming out? What is
Yes.
sort of, the name,
Yeah.
behind it,
Yeah.
the inspiration, anything
Yeah.
about the single.
So I feel like this song is gonna be like an everyday song for a lot of people. Like it's gonna be a feel good record. It's gonna be that song is gonna pull you out of a down feeling, moment or whatever, because it's just that
Yeah.
good, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a
Mm-hmm.
feel good song. So I was in the studio. Shout out to Eli Williams. He produced the beat. He sent
Dope.
it to me. I was in the studio just listening to it, playing it back. I was like, man, this is like a really a bop for real. Like like how can I highlight different parts and elements in the beat and make it
Yeah.
come to life? And the words just started coming to me. I feel good. You know what I'm saying? So then when it got to the meat of the hook, just saying, walking the building like what's in my pocket is more than a million. Like this just knowing your worth, you know what I'm saying, with God. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a child of the most high king. I
Yeah.
can walk in this mother like I own it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a part in the song where I say, I said a prayer to God when he started healing the people. That's when I say it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the fact that, the steps of a righteous man are ordered by
Yeah.
God, the steps of a person that's literally walking this thing out, believing what they say. You know what I'm saying? I can speak things, declare things, pray for people, send a prayer to God, and I know He's going to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm in this good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that my prayers are heard and answered, I feel good. So yeah, that's pretty much what the song is about, and I pray that they feel good when they hear it. Yeah.
Listen, man, y'all, you want to get this, you want to tap in with Mike, tap in with the
Yeah.
entire
You're not done.
squad. They're not done.
Facts.
I feel good. Listen, a whole lot's been going on. Y'all go back, check out all of his
Please.
catalog. Just
Facts.
make a whole playlist with just everything,
Yeah.
throw it in there.
All day.
Just run it
Yep.
all the way up, run it all the way up. Mike,
Yeah.
listen, man. Salute to you. Thank you for popping on here today, for
Thank
rocking
you.
with us, for giving us a bit of
Sure.
an insight. Definitely, we want to have you back on. I'm excited to see
Definitely.
everything that's
Definitely.
happening. Once you start, touring again and you
Yes.
come through New York, man, we will be there. New
Yes.
York, New Jersey, Connecticut,
Yes.
anything in
Let's
that
go.
space, we will be there. We will show up, man. Continue to be a blessing and a light, man. Salute
Definitely. God bless you, man. Appreciate you having me.
for sure. All right. And we are good. Thank you so much, man. Have a good
Thank
one,
you.
Mike.
Thank you. Appreciate you,
Of
man.
course. All right.
All
Take it
right.
easy, man. Later.
Yep. Peace.